So what should a guy do when the lower auger in that stupid grain cart you should have never bought in the first place ends up having enough of a wobble to it that it makes the shaft that drives said bent auger do a painfully accurate impression of my collarbone the second that I crawl onto a dirt bike? Buy a new auger. What are you, crazy? Patch it together and take it to the local machinery auction? Since I'm not a complete piece of human garbage, I can't just pawn the whole piece of equipment off on someone else knowing that there's a problem. But I'll be doggoned if I'm going to spend $2,600 on an auger that I can build for $500 to $700 in parts. I think we're just going to try and straighten this out for one more season. With some precise measuring and precision eyeballing, I've determined that the low part of the banana is turned down and the high part is on the ends. I don't know how far to go. Uh-oh. Yep. I may have gone too far. I was struggling trying to take it far enough without going too far. This doggone auger is bound determined to be about as straight as a Cybertruck owner. That's not very straight. Finally, after more up and downs than a Catholic wedding, I was able to get the auger straight enough to notice that the spline bushing was welded into the drive end of the auger crooked. So once I cut the welds loose and knocked the bushing free, and with the gearbox chained down and a jack under the low side, I was able to tweak it straightish enough to weld it back fast again. There's really no good way of measuring the straightnicity of something like this other than getting down, rolling the auger over, and also looking down at the gearbox while you're rolling it over and seeing how much the gearbox rutches around like this hub's out of center or something. Was it really worth putting this amount of effort into a used auger just to get by for a couple of years? But seriously, can you put a price on a man's dignity? Oh yeah, you can. It's basically whatever a 12-pack costs and a good old, I bet you can't do that. In closing, sometimes you gotta do in-season repairs that don't make sense just so you can get by till you have the time or the means to fix it right.